Greetings, YouTube. We have so much to talk about today in probably multiple videos, including, of course, the new 5-star crystal. The new 5-star featured crystal, I should say. And we've got all these arenas to talk about eventually. Hopefully we'll have some good, if nothing else, some good unit opportunities and battleship opportunities from the bonus arena. But that's not really the news of the day. The news of the day is that, as you can see when we scroll down in the featured 5-star hero crystal, we now have 98 days and change of this new crystal, which will take the place of my hunt. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to use this comment section to shout somebody out for naming or inventing the new name of the new hunt that I'm going to be using in my 5-star openings, and that's going to be for Spider-Man 2099. So what should the hunt be called? Let me know in the comments below. If your post gets the most likes, I will rename the post after you and shout you out on the first video. So, in the meantime, even if you don't care about 5 stars anymore, and some of you have said, Prof, I don't want to watch any 5-star opening ever on your channel because 5 stars are the new 4 stars. I hate that phrase. I think it's totally BS. You can still clear all content in the game effectively with 565 5 stars, and I can't imagine a day where that's not the case. But in the meantime, even if you don't care about 5 stars, this is a little bit of a preview, often, of champions that will be buffed in the future. So what I like to do is basically have to make it easy on myself, and this always gets the most drama. 3 different categories. Are they a cash champion? Meaning, oh man, I feel like that champion is money, game changing. Are they a meh champion? Like, I'm fine with them, but I wouldn't want to pay 15,000 5-star shards or 11,000 5-star shards for them. Or are they trash? Are they somebody that until they get buffed, I'm going to be ticked off to land on? If they're trash, odds are before the end of the cycle of the crystal, which is over 3 months, they should get a buff. So this is also a preview potentially for the buffs into 2022 for Kabam. Now, with that being said, America Chavez is a featured champion, so she counts automatically. Drax deserves a buff. Drax used to be a Mordo counter, and yet he was essentially scapegoated from a frame rate issue that was very confusing, and I still think a bold-faced lie. But Drax could be buffed. Falcon already was buffed. He is a cash champion. Green Goblin, I hate fighting, but I definitely think deserves at least a tweak in some utility. So maybe Green Goblin will be buffed. I'm going to put Green Goblin, though, as a meh champion. Not yet trash, but meh. Hercules is cash, of course. OG Hulk, I'm going to put as a meh champion. He still has some decent damage, especially when he gets to low health. But you don't want to have to use the excuse or the justification of low health to really maximize a champion, because you don't want to be in a fight where you have to take a bunch of hits in order to get that. So I wish Hulk could have his best utility without being under 20% health. Joe Can't Fix His Own Tie has needed a buff for so long. He is the biggest wastebasket trash champ. But one of my takeaways from this pool is that Joe Fixit is going to be buffed. Kabam has wanted to do that. They actually targeted years ago when I went to MCOC Comic-Con, gosh, almost 3 years ago now. It's so crazy. That Joe Fixit and Hulkbuster were at the top of their list at that point. Now, Hulkbuster has received an amazing buff since then. Joe Fixit, not so much. Now it is his time to shine, even if we have to wait until 2022. Karnak was buffed. I haven't used him yet, but I've been told from my man Evan Peterson he's really good, even suicide friendly. Kitty Pryde is a cash champion, featured champion. Luke Cage is already really good, but like Nebula, maybe he could use an even better buff. I don't know. But what I do know is that he's awakened almost worth 15,000 5-star shards. I'm still going to put him in the meh category. Mephisto, I'm going to put in the cash category. Same with Mojo. Nimrod and Penny Parker are both featured champs. Proxima Midnight used to be the biggest hyped up champ. If you go back in the YouTube archives. People were pretending like she was by far the greatest champion of the game. And the damage that she gets eventually is amongst the best in the game. And at that time, maybe was the best. But the ramp up is such a pain and so annoying that I don't know anybody that uses her regularly, because you can have better damage than her with no ramp up for quite a few champions. So maybe you can make her ramp up faster. That would be a great buff. I'm going to put her in the meh category, though, especially because she does have good synergy with Corvus. Rocket Raccoon, I'm going to put in the trash category until he gets a buff. But maybe we're going to have like a Drax, Rocket Raccoon, Guardians of the Galaxy like buff. I mean, even though I don't see his name on this list, God forbid you talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy and buffs without Groot. Groot should have been buffed way before Nebula, and yet he's still not on this list. Sabretooth, love his synergies, especially. Maybe he'll get buffed. I'm going to put him in the high meh category, but not yet cash. Scarlet Witch Classic is one of the best draws for this crystal because she, of course, is not in the basic crystal. And it used to be that you could only go after the featured Cavalier crystals to get her. So if you don't have Scarlet Witch Classic, I've got her at SIG 200 as a 565 5-star. She's fun, but she's not a good suicide champ because the regen still isn't that great. But I'm glad she's in there. Spider-Man 2099, that's who I'm hunting now. Squirrel Girl is a cash champion. Storm is a champion that is much better with Apocalypse, but still needs a buff in my book. Taskmaster could use a couple of tweaks, though some of you already love him like you do Nebula. Venompool was buffed, and Old Man Logan, maybe he's getting a buff too. In terms of the non-featured champions, Scarlet Witch Classic is at the top of my list of reasons why you want to go for this crystal. You should really consider that. However, I'm pretty underwhelmed by a lot of the champions in this crystal. We don't have those jaw-dropping god-tier champs that we normally have with this. And maybe it's because Kabam is moving to a model that eventually previews who's going to get those buffs. And I get that. There's only so many champions, 24 in a pool? But it used to be where you would get like Hyperion, Blade, Ghost, Stark Spidey, Human Torch. If you want to improve this, you got to throw in a couple champs. Like imagine if they threw in, say, these two champs. Say they threw in Apocalypse and Doctor Doom to this. It changes the entire conversation. But they didn't. So given how I've seen, and of course this grade is going to improve as champions get buffed, but for this moment, at the beginning of November of 2021, I can't help but give this at most a B-. I'm going to give this an 82 grade, 82%. And I realize that might be controversial to some, but that is my honest opinion. That gets my grade, but we will be using this crystal to hunt for Spider-Man 2099 from now on. Let me know what you think about this crystal in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting my Marvel Casino of Champions YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your day.